from Chesapeake. That's where dispatch says a woman was hurt and a cat died after a fire in Chesapeake.
This happened on Park Avenue in South Norfolk around 1 this morning. 10 on your side's Kiana Patterson live now with more details from the fire department. Kiana, we understand the house is destroyed.
That's right. Right now, there's just a shell of a house here on Hull Street and Park Avenue. You can see the damage left behind. There's crime scene tape up now. Crews spent more than 4 hours out here investigating the cause of the fire. And as you mentioned, a woman was hurt. She was taken to the hospital with burns, but she is expected to survive. Take a look at these scary pictures provided by the Chesapeake Fire Department. You can see the flames fully engulfed the entire single-story house. Firefighters were called here to the intersection of Park Avenue and Hull Street around 1 o'clock this morning, and that fire was under control within about an hour. Now, family members came back here to the scene around 5 o'clock this morning to take a look at the damage. I spoke with Jennifer Holcomb, and she says her mom is doing okay, but she does have burns and singed hair. She also says she will be admitted into the hospital for the next couple of days, and that includes the holidays.
She's lost everything. She has nothing now. So any help would be greatly appreciated. I know it's close to the holidays with that around the corner, but anything, any clothes or shoes, she literally has nothing.
And she plans to create a GoFundMe page. I'll post that link over on wavy.com. But again, fire marshals spent several hours out here investigating the cause of the fire. We hope to learn more a little later in the day. In Chesapeake, Kiana Patterson, 10 on your side.
We are off to a very busy start on this Wednesday morning, and we thank you for joining us. I'm Katie Collette.
And I'm Don Roberts. We have a lot to talk about as you kick off this day, but first we want to get you ready to head out the door this morning.
So let's begin with a check of your forecast with meteorologist Jeremy Wheeler. Jeremy, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, we got some chill in the air as you head out the door. Temperatures similar to yesterday, maybe even a little more cooler. Right now we're at 40 in Kempsville, 39 in Hickory, 38 Great Bridge, 35 Chesapeake, and 39 in Craddock. Ingleside right now 41, 36 downtown Suffolk. We got 36 in Carrollton, 33 in Franklin, and 36 in Smithfield. And upper 30s, Newport News, Big Bethel, and Hampton, 39 at Lee Hall. Right now Yorktown 45 and 46 in Williamsburg. We got dry conditions across the whole region. There's no rain out there, nothing coming towards us today, so I think we're going to be looking pretty good overall. But we are going to have quite a bit of clouds at times. Partly cloudy to mostly cloudy. High temps will be in the mid-60s. It's going to be a good day. Tomorrow, well, we got some rain moving in, so I'm going to time that out for you coming up in this half hour. Madison is in now with traffic.
Thanks, Jeremy. Good morning. Volume is starting to build here at Chesapeake on 64 East as you're heading toward Bowers Hill, the Bowers Hill interchange. Also on 64 West for anyone heading toward the high-rise bridge as well, but no major backups or big problems there. Of course, we might see that later on, maybe around 7:30, 8 o'clock. But right now from Bowers Hill to the high-rise bridge, it's going to take you about 7 minutes. Speeds are still into the 60s there. And just keep in mind, as part of the widening and high-rise bridge expansion project, one lane is going to be alternating closures in both directions from South Military Highway to Greenbrier Parkway overnight from 7 o'clock until 5. Don?
Madison, thank you. Our time, 6:03. Now to the latest in coronavirus news. With cases continuing to rise, mandates are getting tougher, with more people telling us what to do. And that's why the Chesapeake Health Department launched a new social media campaign. Sally is stirring up quite a few comments related to how she got COVID-19 while wearing a mask and potentially spreading it to others.
It's a visual to try to help people understand that, as with most things in life, they don't just happen. They take a while.
Dr. Nancy Welsh says COVID is like Las Vegas. It's all about playing the odds, and wearing a mask decreases your risk of getting or giving the virus to someone else.
Rite Aid is making changes to its COVID-19 testing program. Beginning December 1st, the test will no longer be free. A statement from the company says federal funding for the test is ending. COVID-19 testing has been paid for by the Department of Health and Human Services. Rite Aid will charge $115. Testing will be available for those aged 13 and older regardless of symptoms. Previously, Rite Aid would only test people 18 and older.
We are following developing news from the Middle Peninsula. That's where state police and the FAA are investigating a small plane crash that killed the pilot. The plane crashed into a storage garage yesterday morning in the private North End Shores community in Deltaville. The community where the plane crashed is a cluster of summer homes used by people from Hampton Roads and the Richmond area.
6:05, happening today, a local Super Bowl champion is giving back to the community for the holidays. Kansas City Chiefs defensive tackle Derek Nottie and Cracker Barrel are teaming up to donate 10 meal baskets to Boys and Girls Club families in Virginia Beach. The families will be at the Boys and Girls Club on Competitor Court to get their baskets. In addition to the food, the baskets will have a special note from Nottie.
For the 11th year in a row, the Virginia Living Museum is set to pardon turkeys. This is video from last year's event. Now, Newport News Vice Mayor Sandra Cherry will lead the event. Guests will go to the outdoor habitat and call the turkeys over to feed them cracked corn while officially pardoning them from Thanksgiving dinner. In addition, the museum is doing its Fill the Canoe food drive. Anyone who brings a non-perishable food item will receive a coupon for a bottomless fountain drink or coffee from the museum's cafe. Our time now is 6:06. Coming up, President-elect Joe Biden continues to make his cabinet picks. Hear what they plan to accomplish when it comes to foreign policy.
Now, your Super Doppler 10 forecast from meteorologist Jeremy Wheeler.
All right, something a little different this morning. Look at that. That's surfline.com. That's Duck, North Carolina. Beautiful. The sun, still below the horizon, but they're starting to get a little bit of color out there in the distance. And today, we're going to have a mix of sun and clouds in our region. Temperature's going to be in the 60s. Lots of 60s across the area, but there'll be a few showers, I think, as we go over towards Charlotte, and temperatures in the 50s over there, upper 50s in D.C. So temperatures right now, though, in the area, 35 in Melfa, 35 Wakefield, 33 in Franklin. It's chilly. You got 35 degrees in Chesapeake, 44 in Norfolk, 41 in Elizabeth City, 44 in Manteo. And so keep this in mind, these 30s inland, Newport News and Suffolk, you're going to be in the 60s later today. So you want to dress in layers. It's going to be about a 30-degree rise in temps for some. So we do have a lot of clouds, but the sun is going to pop through this pretty well. Let's call it a mix of sun and clouds for today. Not much wind at the moment, but the wind will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles an hour through the day. Not a strong wind, but it will be a warming wind, and maybe a little out of the southeast at times. So for any kids that are doing remote learning today, any breaks in between, we'll have lots of clouds. The sun will pop out here and there, and the temperatures will be in the 60s later today. So partly cloudy to mostly cloudy, 60 at noon, 65 at 3 p.m., and we'll have a light south wind. Now tomorrow, some rain showers. Now it's mostly in the morning and the midday hours. During the afternoon, I think we're going to dry out and going into the evening time. So it's looking better and better for us as we go through the day on Thursday. I'm going to show this to you specifically using Future Track. We'll really time out the showers, and that'll be here in just 10 minutes. Madison's in now with traffic.
Good morning. If you have to cross the water right now, both sides of the HRBT, they're on 64 East and West. It's looking clear. Same thing for the James River Bridge. Also not tracking any lifts there so far this morning. There's going to be some road work happening at the Monitor Merrimack later on this morning, starting at 9 o'clock until noon. So all southbound lanes are expected to be alternating, or northbound lanes are expected to be alternating closures. 2 southbound lanes and 2 shoulders are expected to be blocked. So just keep that in mind if you're going to be traveling to Newport News and Suffolk later on this morning. Across the south side, 564 west, for those of you heading off to Naval Station Norfolk, seeing our typical delays there still. You're moving in an average speed at about 31 miles per hour there, right around Gate 3A. Katie?
Thanks, Madison. 6:11. Backlash on the casino project. The concerns brought forward by the Norfolk NAACP to the Pamunkey Indian tribe.
Plus, an update on Wednesday's child from years past. How he's doing 38 years after we first shared his story.
And a selfless offer. In today's Good News for a Good Morning segment, Lex Gray will show us the unique way one college professor is reaching out to her students for Thanksgiving. .14. Our coverage of the transition of power continues this morning. The top diplomats President-elect Biden has selected for his cabinet for national security have established ties to Washington. A big question for the new foreign policy team is what it will do about President Trump's decisions. Anthony Blinken is President-elect Biden's pick for Secretary of State. He says he would be guided by 2 qualities, humility and confidence. Jake Sullivan will head up the National Security Council. He says the Biden administration will follow a family-first policy, even when it comes to foreign affairs.
The alliances we rebuild, the institutions we lead, the agreements we sign, all of them should be judged by a basic question. Will this make life better, easier, safer for families across this country? Our foreign policy has to deliver for these families.
President-elect Biden was asked if he would meet with President Trump. He responded, "Of course I would," if he asked.
Essential workers continue to deal with coronavirus concerns. They want to make sure companies are doing everything to keep employees safe, especially during the holiday rush. Governor Ralph Northam just strengthened enforcement for essential businesses that don't follow social distancing. But a Kroger worker who lost a co-worker to COVID says the safety precautions are getting lax, and she wants to see capacity limits. Meanwhile, the United Food and Commercial Workers Union is pressuring several large stores to resume hazard pay and paid quarantine leave.
If people can't afford to be out and with no money coming in, that makes me wonder how many people are actually coming to work sick that we don't know.
The General Assembly just rejected a bill that would have required paid leave for workers exposed to COVID-19. Nursing students at Hampton University are getting some hands-on experience and helping some of our most vulnerable residents. They're providing flu and shingles vaccine to residents at Forest Pine Senior Living Facility in Newport News. The facility has more than 120 residents. Nursing students from HU administered 60 flu shots on Monday. The vaccines were provided by Centera Lee Hospital.
616, the Waterfront Casino project for Norfolk faces backlash. It's over so-called black laws, which are allegedly no longer enforced by the Pamunkey Indian tribe. In October, we reported on a woman who accuses tribal members of banishing her ancestors because they helped educate newly freed slaves. The Norfolk NAACP was disturbed by this report and called for a meeting with the chief.
We believe that the chief was very, very sincere, him and his team. We asked very, very tough questions. We got the good answers.
The chief reportedly promised 90% of those hired will come from Hampton Roads and 50% of the employees will be minorities. For more reaction from Pamunkey Chief Robert Gray, head to wavy.com.
Our time 6:17. Longtime Wavy TV viewers who remember our Wednesday's child stories, listen up. We've got an update for you from a little boy in need of a mentor. We first featured Samson back in 1982. And here's how mentoring made a difference in a little boy's life.
When you put your hair, it seems like it's going to soak. You're going to drown your hair.
We first met Samson Champion at a Mercury Boulevard pizza shop back in 1982. He and other children in the Big Brothers Big Sisters mentoring program got to make their own pizza and make a new friend.
Right now I'm in Miami, Florida.
Here is Samson Champion today, 38 years later, a barber by profession and a traveling man for fun.
I came down here on March the 19th. As I got here, they had the COVID incident and they wasn't letting anybody travel.
So Samson says he stayed in Florida, plying his trade as a barber and waiting out the pandemic. His family?
Yes, I have 2 sons, and then I have 2 that I actually adopted, a boy and a girl. So and they all grown.
Samson says he did get a mentor named Reggie in the Peninsula Big Brothers Big Sisters program.
We went to the Pilots games a couple times, took me fishing. That's why I love to go fishing. He was a real good dude. He was real cool. And then we lost connection because I think he ended up moving to Maryland.
Did he make a difference?
Yes, he did. And I would like to see him. He was a great person. And he was always there for me. And he always came to, pick me up or stop by to see how I was doing and stuff. He has his own family, his own 2 kids to handle. And for him to step outside and come see what I'm doing, that was a big help.
And Samson says he's forever grateful to Reggie. Now, to find out more about mentoring programs here in Hampton Roads, call the Big Brothers Big Sisters Peninsula, 369-6824, or Team Up Mentoring with the Up Center on the South Side, 397-2121.
619, we're celebrating a special anniversary at Wavy TV 10. One of our most valuable news gathering tools has hit an important milestone. The model of Chopper 10 that we have now has turned 20 years now. Wavy TV 10 bought it in 2000, but we were gathering news high above Hampton Roads long before that. We first brought you aerial views with the chopper we rented back in 1982. The technology has clearly evolved since then. We want to give you a lot more looks at the past. You can head over to wavy.com right now and search for this story. There, you will find more views from the sky, and you can really see how much the area has changed over the past 4 decades. And if that good news wasn't enough, here's some more, because it's time for our Good News for a Good Morning segment. We want to pass along some good news to you, our viewers, each and every day.
Now, we know sometimes the news can be kind of heavy, so we want to lighten things up a bit and give you a reason to smile every morning. 10 News size Lex Gray joins us live from the newsroom with today's good news story. Good morning, Lex.
Good morning. Today's good news story comes to us from the University of Iowa. That's where a professor and 3 of her children will prepare and deliver home-cooked meals to students who are stuck at school because of the pandemic. Liz Pierce is a professor in the communications department, and like most teachers around the country, she has spent the year teaching her students virtually. Even though she's never even met most of them in person, she wanted to help those who are going to be stuck on campus because of travel restrictions or quarantining. So last week, Liz wrote an email to her class and offered them a home-cooked meal on Thanksgiving. In the email, Liz said she and her children would be happy to make the food while wearing masks and deliver it to people's homes and dorms to limit physical contact. One student was so moved by Pierce's kindness, she shared the email on Twitter. That tweet now has hundreds of thousands of likes and tens of thousands of appreciative comments. So far, Liz has received a handful of interested replies. She says she has expanded her offer now to the entire communications department, which has about 600 students. And another cool thing, she said one of her daughters is vegan, so she also offered the students, if they are vegan, they can still get a meal from her.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
What an amazing woman.
And none of the students try to grade her cooking.
They better not. They better just graciously accept that food.
I'm sure with how great she is, she's a great cook as well.
No doubt.
All right, it is 6:22. Let's get a check of the weather now with meteorologist Jeremy Wheeler.
All right, yeah, I'm starting to get a little hungry myself now, talking about all this food. So let's talk about some more food. Let's talk about Thanksgiving for the forecast tomorrow. I'm thinking that we're going to have rain for the first half of the day, but in the afternoon, I think we'll dry things out. Might still have some clouds, but I think we'll push that rain out and we'll get a lot better as we go through time. Now today, we have high pressure moving away and clouds are building in. So we have quite a bit of clouds out there. It will be partly cloudy to mostly cloudy, but it's still going to be a nice day. Notice there's no rain in the region. Now there's a lot of rain back to the west around this front. Actually, there's 2 fronts out there, and both of those are going to swing through here tomorrow. So let's take a look at all this. Let's put it all together and go with the forecast. Now this afternoon, 3 o'clock, we've got pretty quiet weather. We'll have some clouds, but no rain. Rain back to the west. The Tennessee and Ohio River valleys are going to be pretty wet today. Now tonight into tomorrow, we've got rain along the east coast. That rain moves to the east, so we're right in the middle of it. That's 9 a.m. And then going into the afternoon, notice a lot of the rain moves out. Not all of it, but most of it is gone by about 4 o'clock, maybe just a stray shower. And then we'll dry things out at night. There's going to be some rain across North Carolina, though, going into Friday morning. And we could catch an isolated shower in Hampton Roads in the afternoon. And I'll show you the closer version of Future Track in just a little bit. So here's the rain chances. Today it's dry, 10% chance stray to the south. That's it. Nothing really in southeast Virginia. 70% chance of rain tomorrow morning. Isolated tomorrow afternoon, and then just an isolated shower possible on Friday. Dry for Saturday and Sunday. Now the temperatures, they're going to be in the 60s going into the afternoon here. We'll see some 50s to the north, 70s to the south. And then we're going to see some mild temperatures tomorrow, low 70s in Hampton Roads. Won't be breaking a record, but it's going to be warm out there. It'll be way above the average of 59 degrees. So Super Doppler 10 radar is quiet right now. We see dry conditions today, but again, we're going to see clouds moving and passing and going. So we've got that for the midday. We've got it for the early afternoon and going into the evening. Here's 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Now, our winds are out of the south, so we're going to warm things up regardless of the clouds. Tonight, we've got lows in the 50s, and we'll see scattered rain showers late. And then tomorrow morning, a few showers. This is 7 o'clock. Now we take it to noon, some scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. And then in the afternoon, a lot of the rain moves out. A stray shower is possible. This is 3 o'clock along the coast. But then 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, we should be dry. Can't rule out a stray shower returning, but right now I think it's a low chance. So today we're dry. We got a mix of sun and clouds. Highs in the 60s, 64 Virginia Beach, 67 Elizabeth City, 65 in Norfolk and Portsmouth, low 60s in Hampton and Gloucester, 65 in Newport News, 62 on the eastern shore. For boaters today, winds south 5 to 10 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet, and the bay is 1 to 2 feet. So tomorrow we got highs and low 70s, rain showers mostly in the morning and midday, hopefully drying out in the afternoon, evening. Friday, isolated showers, 65. Saturday and Sunday looking good now. Highs and low 60s. We got partly cloudy skies, but there is going to be a lot of rain on Monday.
Pleasant temperatures today and tomorrow.
It is, yep. It's looking good. You know, I don't know what it